Welcome, 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 welcome. Beautiful, beautiful hearts. We are in a very sacred temple at this moment, and my clock says 101. On this beautiful day of January 11th, a 111 portal, a portal of love, a portal of love. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm trusting that you can hear me okay. Thank you for joining us. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. So this is a listening party, a little watch party for us to gather in the love and the memory of Judy. And just a few moments ago, I was sensing Judy, and she's definitely coming through. And so we're going to share a transmission today that is one of my favorite with Judy. It's about an hour and a half. So in this space, and right now there's 77 participants on our Zoom, and Judy was 77 as she transitioned. And so that is just a significant sign of Judy's love. And we are right here at the right time. I have a prayer that I would love to share with you. And so put your hand on your heart and take a breath. Take a breath with me as we feel the essence of Judy. Can you hear her giggle? I can. Beloved source of all that is, we gather now in sacred presence, heart open, heart soft. We welcome our dear Judy Cali into this sacred space. She's not in form, but she is in spirit, in laughter, and in love that never leaves. Beloved Sister Judy, we miss you. The world, the world feels quieter without your sparkle. Yet, Goddess Judy, we feel you in the lightness that suddenly lifts the room, in your giggle that always ripples through our hearts, and in the joy that reminds us not to take this journey too seriously. Dear Judy, we know that you are here with us now and that you're walking between the worlds with ease, cheering us on, nudging us towards love, and whispering reminders that this connection never ends. We send our love to you freely with gratitude for your friendship, for your light, for your presence in our lives that have bloomed our hearts wide open. Thank you for continuing to show up in all the ways that only Spirit can. That's softly, playfully, and faithfully. And when we need a friend, when we feel tender or unsure, we know that you'll be there. There's a song that sings this way, just as love promises. May this gathering today be blessed by your spirit, Judy. May our hearts be warmed by your joy. And may we laugh with you now, giggle with you now, knowing that love transcends all worlds. With love that never fades, we welcome you, Judy, and we welcome every heart for joining us today. Amen. Wow. All right. I am so grateful that I did not I did not totally cry my eyes out, but we love Judy dearly. And I actually have a message. I'd like to bring it through from Judy. Beloved ones, the world has always known moments of upheaval. But what you are witnessing now is not failure, it is revelation. What feels like calamity is the surfacing of what no longer can remain hidden. The light has become too strong for distortion to survive quietly. As blue rays, you were never meant to fight the darkness. You were designed to outshine it. Your nervous system feels the intensity because you're exquisitely sensitive to truth. When the collective shakes, you feel it first. And this does not mean something's wrong with you. It means you are awake. So here is the guidance for this moment. Do not harden your hearts. Do not shrink your joy. And do not abandon laughter. Joy is not denial, but it is a stabilizing frequency that comes from love, through love, with love, and for love. Remember to giggle. Remember to laugh. When you laugh, when you stay curious, when you choose kindness in the midst of noise, you act as a tuning fork for the new earth. You help others remember without saying a word. So, beloved hearts, stay simple. Breathe often. Remember, 22,000 breaths a day. Touch the earth. Sing, hum, or giggle when the weight feels heavy. And remember, you're not here to carry the world. You are here to light it from within. You are doing beautifully. You always were. With love that never leaves, I am Judy. I am. From my sacred heart to yours, I love you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So many wonderful comments coming in. Let's allow the comment box to be memories and feelings of Judy and resonance. And I'm going to play the transmission of the blue rays, the blue beings, remembering Mintaka. Mintaka. That's what aligns all of us, is this blue ray frequency. The blue ray frequency is divine will. We are here to amplify divine will with our voice of love, our voice of love. The world needs our voice of love even more than ever. So I thank you for it. And I am so honored now to share at this moment of 111, 111 on 111 of this 1 year. Enjoy this transmission, beautiful hearts. Here we go.
Welcome,
Yippee!
everyone. Yay. We are here in our Mastery Empowerment course with Judy, Cali. I'm Lorraine Gailey, and we welcome you to our sacred space. Judy, this is an exciting topic, the intergalactic avatar blue beings. Oh, my goodness. And this is related to
Yes,
Jesus.
yes.
Share with us. Yes.
You know, this is a topic that has like been percolating in my life in the background. And I remember when at first I saw Jesus as a blue being, and it was so clear. And he was this beautiful cobalt blue color that was exactly like the blue beings on the flyer. It was the most beautiful blue. And I remember this was 1954. You can't exactly walk around and say, I see Jesus as a blue being. So it was something that I just kind of held in my heart for years. And just one of those things that I thought, when it's the right time, it'll make it clear to me. And through the years, as I indicated on the flyer, different aspects would present themselves and would kind of tickle me with, you're right, it's coming. There is this truth. And it was almost like this tiny little game that as my guides were playing with me. And it was almost like, okay, reach for the next thing, reach for the next thing, reach for the next thing. And when I finally came to the place where this last 2 years, I've had quite a few clients that their higher selves are guiding me to tell them that they're blue beings. And I thought, this has been percolating. And then when it was time to pick the subject for this particular masterclass, I felt this huge, like fireworks go off in my heart when I said, is it about the blue beings and Mintaka? And it was so clear. It was like the greatest celebration they could show me. And the beautiful thing about these things when this comes to me is that we have expanded so much that now we're ready to talk about blue beings. That's pretty exciting. And and the reason I'm laughing, because my throat, they're all about the throat. And so if in my own experience with clients, especially the last 4, 5, 6 years, I've done so much work with clearing throats and clearing them not being able to speak their truth and needing to swallow their pain, and being given that our throats are being rewired so that we connect more telepathically and less physically. And I had to laugh because I just had tears in my eyes as I was writing this, because one of the things I've been experiencing the last 2 months was breathing issues. And it started with things like I had a harder time breathing, and then I would be panting. And then I had times where I couldn't even feel my lungs moving. And it got to the point that I was standing in my bedroom and I felt myself breathing through all the pores of my body. And my lungs were not moving. And I remember thinking, this is all connected somehow. And then it was like a week later, and I found myself breathing out of my left arm, from my hand to my ankle, to my elbow. And my whole body was being oxygenized and my lungs weren't moving. And then it finally came to the point where I was standing, and it was like I was a mermaid. And I was standing, and the bottom part of me, from my waist down, was the ocean. And from my waist up was the sky. And I was breathing fully, and it had nothing to do with underwater or on top of the water. And then I realized I was breathing through my skin. And that's exactly what the Mintakans do. And the blue beings, they breathe through their skin. And I realized that that's what we're being prepared for now. And isn't that exciting? So if you've been having, or if you've been having, it isn't your imagination. And like I've gone from having a hard time breathing to needing to sit up and just quietly connect to breathing fully and completely and joyously. So it's just something, like I said, I get information 10, 15, 20 years before I see it in print or hear other people talking about it, because I've surrendered and trusted in the integrity of my soul. And that means I don't need to know and I don't need to understand. I just trust in my higher self. And so when I get this kind of information, it's not exactly like I can call, somebody around the corner and say, can we talk about this? Because it comes in stages. And until it comes in the stage that I finally get the message, because then I'm mature enough for it, whatever that means, then I can share it. And so I had such jubilation in my heart as I was writing this up and putting on print on my phone the information to share with you guys, because this is something that I haven't really talked about with anybody else, other than the clients, that they would ask me, well, what is a blue being? And I would briefly explain it. And I'd tell them to look up Mintaka and that there was some information on Google. But it's not something that I've ever heard anybody else talk about, other than you hear people channeling the avions or channeling this or channeling that. But I haven't heard it presented, nor have I ever experienced it being presented and talked about in relation to Mintaka. And I haven't, other than that one reading that I had by that lady who did Akashic Records, other than this one lady mentioning to me, you come from Mintaka, I had never heard anybody else mention Mintaka. So this is all a new way of sharing our expansion into our galactic selves. And that is absolutely thrilling, because we've had more and more promptings to connect to our galactic self, to realize that we are the star brothers and star sisters we've been waiting for to land on the front lawn of the White House. We've been here all along. We came here. We are blue beings, among many other things. So this particular topic, when it came up, and I thought, you know what? This is so appropriate, because some of the most amazing information that presents itself to me presents it to present to Loren's webinars or master classes. So I thought, okay, we're right on target. We're here again with a class with Loren, and she's really there.
Well, I wanted to share as well that the blue, I heard in a meditation, we are the Blue Ray Collective. And when I learned more about the blue rays, wow, they are speakers of the voice. And so when you're having your clearing of your throat there, wow, it makes sense that yes, it's all about the throat. So interesting. So Mintaka, it's a planet.
Yes, according to what's been said, and I want to preface this with this understanding. I've understood since I was a little girl that there's a life where Jesus was crucified, and there's also a life where Jesus was not crucified. So it depends on our viewpoint as to what we experience. So if you look at what's written, it says that basically Mintaka doesn't exist anymore, but yet I feel it fully existing. So it's there. Even though people are saying it's not there, I feel it, it's there. And when I connect to it, as I said in the thing, I see these beautiful aqua blue beings as all of the different kinds of water forms. And what's beautiful about this is aqua, from the time I was a little girl, is my favorite color. And there's something about the tones of the ocean, and cobalt blue's right there, along with sea green and teal and things like that. They have spoke to my heart from as young as I can remember. And when something was presented to me and they'd say, what's your favorite color? It never occurred to me to be anything other than aqua. it was like, it's aqua. It's always been aqua. And so as I got a little bit older, then the aqua became more blue and more blue until it was absolutely cobalt blue. And then what I recognized, it was that color palette, and they're all ocean colors. And I thought, isn't that amazing? And then from the time I was a little kid, if somebody asked me something, I'd say I'm an island baby, because if I had my way, I would run around with no clothes on, a sarong maybe the least. I would be on the beach underneath a palm tree, laughing, playing in the water. To me, that was the ultimate thing you could ever do. And I remember my guides coming in many years ago. And when I was asked to go public, and they said, Judy, we know how hard it is for you not to be near water. And I lived 18 years in the Mojave Desert. I lived the last 15 near Palm Springs, about 15 minutes from Palm Springs. I lived in Arizona. And so I've had a lot of my life in the desert communities, and it has never felt right. But it's here. I know I'm here for the right reason. In this particular case in Oklahoma, I'm here to work with the Stargates, which came from Grandma Chandra. And I've been in Oklahoma now for a year. But my point is, I have, from time I was little, I mean really little, I just remember the ocean talking to me. And I remember seeing myself as mermaids and seeing myself as mermen, and recognizing I was living lives as a dolphin. And all of these things spoke to my heart so deeply. Oh. Did you feel that way on any level, Loren?
Yes, I remember being in the water as well. And I just remember feeling the homecoming of being in the water,
Yes,
floating on my back and being surrounded by it. So beautiful. I know many of us feel that way. And it is connected to Lemuria. Would
yes.
you say that Mintaka is Lemurian?
You know, what it feels like to me is the same energy exists with both. That's
Mm-hmm.
how it feels. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, Adama is a Blu-ray master. So that really makes you realize that Telos and Inner Earth are Blu-ray beings. So here again, we're with the blue.
Yes. And there are stories of beings. I know William Henry has interviewed people who talk about a portal, and in a portal, a being from another planet was blue, and he was
Yeah.
seen as blue. And Krishna, in the Vedic traditions, there were blue beings.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With the medicine Buddha's blue.
Mm.
So, you know, the more that we have, the more it's been kind of coming out a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. It has like been giving me a hug every time some of these recognitions make itself known. And the one thing that I really want to share today and really emphasize is, please listen to your own heart, because so much of what I get, nobody else is talking about. It's like the violet flame. Over 25 years ago, I tuned in and I saw Mother Mary wearing a sky blue healing cloak. And I saw blue on the outside and gold on the inside. And anyway, 25 years later, which was just this last year and a half, a woman channeled the message from Saint Germain where he talked about Mother Mary's sky blue healing cloak, that it is blue on the outside and gold on the inside. And I got this information 25 years ago. So I've been using this Mother Mary Sky Blue Healing Cloak on my clients all these years and never once had validation that this was actually the way it was. And I get this time and time and time again. And the beautiful thing is, I trust what I get. So because I trust what I get, when you trust your heart and it feels good, it is the truth. You have a truth meter inside your own heart. You don't have to believe anything anybody's saying. Just tune into your own heart. And because you programmed before you were born, every person, place, thing, and experience you would need for this lifetime into your own sacred heart. And your sacred heart has many names. Your sacred heart, it lies in front of your spinal column, and your connecting point is the little hollow space at the base of your throat. That is called your sacred heart, your high heart, your immortal heart, your creator heart. It's all the same heart. We also have a human heart and a chakra heart. But your sacred heart, your creator heart, is your main heart. That's where the Akashic records are programmed. Every thought, word, deed, and choice that you're experiencing in this life has been recorded by the angels, and you're held accountable for it when you pass. Every single life you're living and all the details are programmed into your sacred heart. So your sacred heart is your main heart, and you know you're there when you can do something for long periods of time, and you're so enjoying it that you never once look at a clock, and you feel totally supported, totally loved and cherished. You have no concerns, no worries, no doubts, and no fears. That's where we are in the time now that we need to be living in that sacred heart more than 51% of our day. And when we're doing that, then everything happens because you're in your divine flow. And your divine flow is you being in your sacred heart as creator, you being connected to the heart of creation. And I experienced that through the great golden central sun. And I not only became the great golden central sun, this was in September of 2018, but I also became the heart of creation. And I called it the dot. And I would just say I'm the dot, because it was literally the pinpoint of creation. And I had to laugh because I had 2 or 3 people who called me in the next month, and they said, my higher self said to tell you that I'm a dot. And of course, that wouldn't have meant anything to anybody else, but I got it instantly. I just started laughing. So my point is, we've been stepping more and more into our heart. And the beautiful thing is, on the last master class that Loren and I did, and this was, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, my guides came in and said, Judy, all of you that are here to lead the way, you started loving yourself 4% when you came into third dimension, because you were in pain, fear, and suffering 95 to 96% of your day. And he said, now you guys are loving yourself 79%, which is in the last 15 to 20 years, you've increased self-love by that much. And that's what we came in for. All of us, our mission is to love ourselves more in this life than we've loved ourselves in any life. That is what we're here for. And we're doing it so beautifully. And then just 2 months ago, through a webinar I was doing, my guide showed me about 5 days before, they showed me an empty wall. And I remember seeing this wall and I wanted to be respectful. So I just said, thank you. And then the next day they showed me an outline in the wall, outlining an arched doorway. And then the third day they showed me that there was an actual door in this wall. And the fourth day they showed me that the door was open a crack. And all I could see in the crack was golden rays of light. And then the next day, which was the day of the webinar, they showed me, Judy, we want you to look at the door. And the door became a rainbow doorway of every color of the rainbow. And my guide said, you are given an opportunity to do this once and only once. And you have the opportunity today to take people through the rainbow doorway, and they have an opportunity to do this. And this way they close the door on their third dimensional self. They close the door in their fourth dimensional self. They expand into their golden higher self, which you need to do to step into the seventh golden crystalline age of wisdom and peace, because we live as our higher selves in the golden earth, not humans. We're our higher self. We're an androgynous light being. And so they said, so consequently, you will now have the opportunity that once you align and become your golden higher self, then you're aligning with your fifth, sixth, and seventh self. And you know, you exist in all 320 dimensions. And dimensions in heaven and earth are not places, they're levels of self-love. So the cancer to every issue and all of life is self-love. How simple can that be? 2 words, self-love. So I don't care if you look at it as your mission, or you look at it as what you came here for, or you look at it as the majority of what your experiences have been. It's all boiling down to self-love. That is the key 2 words for why you're here. And isn't that a blessing? So not only did I take everybody through the rainbow doorway at the end of that webinar, but I offered it to the I am presence of all souls. And so I've had people call me while I'm doing sessions, or they just have a question, and they'll say, I am feeling so happy, and I haven't had this feeling before. Or I feel like a huge weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Or I'm not interested at all in my relatives and the past people and circumstances and hobbies. I'm totally detaching. This is all from us going through that rainbow doorway. And my higher self is telling me every single person on this call went through the rainbow doorway. So the beautiful thing is, then Archangel Gabriel came in. And then again, I had tears in my eyes when he said this. He said, Judy, 95 to 96% of you have completed your clarion call. And the last 3 and 4% are doing it now. So you stop and think about it. In the last 15 to 20 years, we have shifted from being carbon-based beings to crystalline beings. We are shifting from 10% brain capacity to 100% brain capacity, and no half and half. We are shifting from 2 and 3 strands of DNA to 5, 6, 7, 8, eventually 12 strands of DNA. So we're doing all of this in the last 15 to 20 years. And now we've completed our clarion call. And we've also gone through the rainbow doorway, and we've increased self-love from 4% to 79%. Please put your arms around you and give yourself the biggest hug. This is huge. And you need to celebrate you, because this has not exactly been a walk in the park. This has been the most intense life we're living, and we're going through things that we haven't gone through before. This is the first time anybody's ascended inside of a human body. We've also cleared our entire maternal and paternal lineage all through creation at this time. We also took an oath and an agreement between all 10% of us here to lead the way, and that includes every single one of you on the call. We agreed to cram living as many lives as we could between 150 to 200 years before we came into this life. And we took no time in between any life. We went from one life to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And so we came in exhausted, and we came in wounded. And in my case, I did 6 lives in 150 to 200 years. And so I brought in 6 lives of wounds that were not cleared, that I cleared in this life. And to show you where this is at, I had a life with Edgar Casey, and he's one of my main guides. And I had a life where my mother took me to Edgar Casey as a 6-year-old little girl with a heart condition. And then my next life was in the Holocaust. and I was a teenage girl. I was German, and my family owned a tavern, and we housed the Jews in the basement. And I fell in love with a Jewish boy, and we were all hauled off to the camps. And they took the teenage girls and impregnated them, and then they experimented on the fetuses. And then my next life was Judy here in 1946. And one of the first children they did open heart surgery on in 1949. And here we are. That's the heart condition I came in from Edgar Cayce life. So my point is, you're not like the 80% of the population that are younger souls and baby souls. We're the oldest souls on the planet. And now we include 20%, which we just did this last year and a half. We woke up another 10% of the population. So now we have 20% awake, and we have 80% that are not awake. And what's so exciting about this is the hard part's done. It's over. If we were going to be harmed, it would have been in third dimension, and that was more than 20 years ago. So we have now become, according to Archangel Michael in 2007, we are sovereign beings with a clean slate. We don't owe anything to anybody for any reason anymore. We are done. And please keep in mind that we chose, before we came in, we've had several soul families, depending on our levels of self-love. And so our current soul family, we chose 50 out of the 500 to live a round of lives with, and none of the 50 are more important than you. I don't care what part they're playing. And every single being on the planet is a golden being of light. There is no hierarchy. Every person is a thread. Every being is a thread in the weave of life, and we all matter. So when you look at the overview that I'm just presenting to you, you can really see that you have been here at a time that this is the largest expansion as a soul that's ever been provided, is this life. And you are expanding at an exceedingly amazing rate. So there again, put your arms around yourself and give you a big hug. Do you know that if you recorded your voice doing affirmations, your body and your mind would listen to you more than anybody else, because it only knows what you tell it. Your body and mind do not know the difference between reality or fiction. So when you hug you, which we've not been taught to do, but when you hug you 8 to 9 times a day, your body feels more loved than anybody else hugging you, except maybe your dog. Licking you and hugging you and making you feel absolutely wonderful. But it is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, is to hug yourself and really hug you. And in that hug, be giving the message to your body, thank you, and your mind, thank you. I'm still here. And I'm able to do what was most important for me. And I've already done most of it. So now our job is to live a 5th dimensional life and set an example. And the 4 ways we're doing that is, the first and foremost is making feeling good your top priority for more than 51% of your day. And when you make feeling good your top priority, you can only be in your heart to feel good. And when you allow yourself to be in your heart feeling good more than 51% of your day, then you are being divinely guided to live your greatest potential for this lifetime and your greatest divine vocation. And you don't even need to know what they are. Your heart will guide you perfectly and beautifully. So it's really wonderful when you realize that we've been guided as a group so beautifully that we've not only done everything we've done, but we shifted the planet from 3rd to 4th 10 years sooner than anybody thought was possible. And I remember Saint Germain saying to me, this was when I was first asked to go public. And Saint Germain said to me one day, you know that you are 10 years ahead of your blueprint. And that's why you keep having experiences that nobody else is having, because you're 10 years ahead of where you were expected to be at this time. Well, I'm not the only one. Those of us that are here, 10% to lead the way, include the oldest souls on the planet as ascended masters, and all of the new children. There's 77 different types of new children. And we're all here to help usher in the 7th golden crystalline age of wisdom and peace. And we are doing it. And the reason everything looks so nuts on the top of the planet is because in 5th dimension, you have no secrets. When you meet another sacred heart, to your sacred heart, you see all the lives they're living, everything they're feeling, and everything that they're thinking. There are no secrets. So that's why the last 10 to 15 years, everything's looked so crazy, because anything that's been hidden under the carpet by all the top organizations in the world are now coming forth for us to see and clearly be aware of all the things that have been done that are unloving. We're also being shown all the unloving choices we've made as a society that is, we have now an opportunity to reconsider. Example, using animals for entertainment. It's one of the cruelest ways that animals are used, not to mention all the experiments done on them. So when you see children in pornography, when you trees being cut down the rainforest, when you see it takes $1 to make a medicine and they charge $250 for it, this is all part of uncovering the fact that as a society, we have made money more important than any form of life. And that's pretty pathetic. So everything is now coming to the surface to be seen for what it really is. And the animals, which come from one consciousness, they're ahead of us. They've already ascended. So have the plants, by the way. If you've ever listened to plant concerts, they are healing concerts. And there's certain sounds that plants emit. It's quite fascinating and beautiful. But animals have already done this. So they've come back to help us ascend. And the last 10 to 12 years, if you've noticed on the internet, every single day you see animals showing you how to stop being prejudiced. You see dogs nursing kittens. You see donkeys having best friends with a bird. I saw a cat with a mouse in its mouth, very quietly walking over to the food dish, put the mouse down very gently, moved to the right, and the mouse and the cat were eating out of the same bowl. So these are examples that the animals have been showing us on how to stop being prejudiced, because they come from the one consciousness of all of creation. And they telepathically communicate with every other animal, and they all agree before something comes forth on a planetary level. So I just wanted to kind of take just 30 minutes and kind of capsulize how we got to where we are today. And now we're connecting to our blue being selves and our Mintakan selves and our galactic selves in a much bigger way than we ever have. How absolutely awesome is that? It also has required for us to be deeply, deeply hurt, because we took the high road and we chose to make waking up people more important than our personal pain level. And so for most of our life, up until just about now, and some of the last 10 years, we've been being rejected because we carry some of the highest light on the planet. And it is irritating 80 to 90% of the population just by us breathing. But the beautiful thing is because I only work, as Ascended Master told me, Hilarion, when he asked me to go public. I am working with the 1/2 of the 1% of the 10% of the highest lighted masters on the planet. That's you. That's you. And the most beautiful thing is, you just need to be breathing, and you're touching every heart in the planet and beyond just by you breathing. You're that powerful. It has nothing to do with what you do. You came in as a pure heart. You are still a pure heart. That hasn't changed. But understand that your viewpoint of life, you're not here to blend in on any level. You're here to lead. And remember, as a group, we agreed to choose our parents for this life so that they would not be there for us in some very important ways. Because we needed to figure everything out for ourselves, to develop our ability to be discerning and develop our ability to make great decision makers, and we are. And so if our parents and our family solved everything, took away all the pain, fixed everything, and we just sat there, then we would have ended up being a follower, not a leader. So your parents loved you enough to play some of the most painful roles in our lives. And yes, they nurtured us in important ways, but they predominantly did not, specifically so we would be independent, we would think for ourselves, and we would get the job done. So the fact that we've had to do everything ourselves, mostly, and it's just starting to shift the last 10 years as we've been connecting more and more with kindred hearts and fellow ascended masters and new children. That's where we've been shifting into living in more grace, living in more truth, having more good feelings, and the worst is behind us. So I hope this overall explanation helps, so you can take in the amazing, absolutely awesome job you have done as a person. And we have received very few accolades for everything that we've done, because they're a small percentage of us, and we really didn't come here to wave our flags. We came here in the background to get it done, and we got it done. So I salute.
Congratulations.
Uh,
We got
yeah.
it done. That is wonderful. And I truly hope that that brings an immense amount of peace to everyone who's listening, because at times it feels like we've still got a ways to go, but we are in charge with the self love, making feeling good a priority in our day. I would actually hope that all of us watching, listening, even to the recording, really gets that. Do we really get that? Do each of us really understand how we can shift our feelings of not feeling good? That is a new level of discernment, and we're in charge, aren't we?
Yes. Yes.
Celebrate you.
And many of us are in the same soul families, sharing with each other. And we're going to start coming. If those of you that heard me give you the message of the 2 white cats, this was last year. The cats were showing us that we're not going the old directions we used to go. We're now pairing together as kindred hearts and creating whole new directions together with each other. Isn't that exciting? Because we felt so alone for most of our life. And I remember as a little girl, when everybody was choosing in kindergarten people to be on this team or that team, I was the last one, and nobody wanted to choose me. And I remember being deeply hurt in my heart, thinking I must be unlovable. or there must be something really wrong with me that nobody wants to play with me. And it's because my light was so bright, it was irritating.
Mhm.
And so was yours. So all the rejection we've received is not personal. It isn't you they were rejecting. It's our light. And if that is the last little bit of experience that we needed to have to do the huge shifting we've done in this planet, then so be it.
Mm.
Because we can fill our own self with our own love.
Yes.
Our own is we are our own soulmates and twin flames. And we can fill ourselves and fill our well first, as Jesus and Mary Magdalene did when they came in. They brought in Christ consciousness, and that is unconditional limited love. And that's how somebody could be in their auras, which were hundreds of feet wide, and they could heal. And Jesus and Mary Magdalene didn't even need to know they were there. They didn't need to see them, touch them, be aware of them. It was in their energy field. Well, we are the same way. As we now come first, we fill our well first, and we give from the overflow. No more draining. No more coming out, working with somebody exhausted. That's all done. We're finished. And as Archangel Michael said to me in 2007, he said, Judy, you don't even need to do healing work anymore. And I said, I absolutely love what I do. And he said, okay. He said, here's the two things I want you to consider. Number one, you only work when it's fun. I want you to hear that. You only work when it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And circumstances you want to work under. The other person's need is not your concern anymore. The I am presence of every soul, when we shifted from third to fourth, agreed to take care of their own needs. They all released their own karma. They all released all oaths, covenants, agreements, and vows of third dimension. All the scripts that everybody wrote are gone. And each soul agreed to step up to the plate and align themselves in their androgynous self as an androgynous light being to align with fifth dimension. So Archangel Michael said to me, you have a clean slate and you don't owe anything to anybody for any reason anymore, especially the people you think are your family members, because they're not your family members. They're people you chose to live a round of lives with, but none of them are more important than you. So now we come first. That means you fill your well first. And that's how we stay balanced and healthy and shifting. So this is our time. And Archangel Michael was very clear with me. He said, this is now your guys' time, all of you here to lead the way, that now you get to rest and heal and rejuvenate and regenerate from when you came in exhausted and when you came in with all those wounds to clear. He said, you're done. Now you guys need to take care of you. And your second half of your life is about joy and being lighthearted and playing and having fun. That's what your second half of your life is. You finished the first and you've already done all that stuff. You're finished. So for most of us, the idea of putting somebody else ahead of us, we have done since we took our first breath. So the idea now we're not here to do that is a big change. But keep in mind that the last 10 to 12 years, we've been being guided to slow way down. Because it is not about doing, it is about being. And as we allow ourselves to be our authentic self, and we get our ego out of the way, and we live in the grace of following our heart, then you're in your divine flow and everything's provided automatically. You don't have to stress and strain. And that's probably the largest awareness now is, are you being your own worst enemy? Are you making life harder than it needs to be because you were raised and programmed and brainwashed by the wealthy to make the wealthier faster wealthy, so that you were taught to work hard and make working hard something to be proud of, and to work 7 days a week, and to totally ignore your dreams and ignore you and ignore what feels good, and just be on a treadmill of next, 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 next. Achievement, accomplishment, and what's next? Becoming more, doing more, and feeling more. Well, you know what, folks? Your source, your energy, you're all that is. There is no becoming more. There's expanding into recognizing and experiencing more of who you are, but you're not. There is no such thing as you getting better. You're everything. You're perfect, whole, and complete, just as you are, your source. So as we shift from out here, the journey of a master that we've all stepped into the last year and a half is an inward journey, listening to your heart. It has nothing to do with out here. So right now, when we totally shattered and fragmented, when we came into fourth dimension, from being pure liquid light as a golden spiral, and then we came into form, and then we agreed to go totally into unloving energy for the complete experience of having experiences. And now we're coming back together as we're taking back our fragmented selves and taking back the parts of us that we totally shattered. And now we're coming back into oneness. And isn't that a beautiful place to be? I hope that puts a smile on your heart.
Absolutely. We are feeling into that. And I know that this, as the leaders of love, not being recognized, as you shared, in your personal life as a child, because the light was so high, that light, it's flipped. And I think that we are beacons now.
Yes.
Love is a beacon.
Yep.
For others. Yes. Well, in our event today, you're going to channel the Mintakans and the intergalactic blue beings.
I'm going to say there's a whole room full of them here now.
Oh, really?
Ready?
Okay, well, wow, we can feel them. And I know that there's so many in our group that are deeply connected in this way. And you're going to also bring forward an activation with the White Time Healer Quartz crystal.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this and how we work with it?
I have to laugh because I really am so grateful to the guidance of my own self, because I always get guided to the perfect stone or the perfect circumstance for this group of people, because that's my prayer. My prayer is, example, like for this masterclass, I contact the I am presence of all the souls that I and you, Lorraine, are here to touch with our gifts and talents, abilities, skills, and tools. And then all the sacred hearts are here to touch us, and the perfect contacts and connections are made so that whatever the message is goes all over the world to touch all the hearts we're here to touch. And then I tell my higher self, please guide me to be very clear about what is the perfect topic and information to present for this particular group of people. That's how I work. And so, as I'm saying, there is probably, they're saying there's 18 of them. There's 18 blue beings standing here. And then as far as my eye can see are blue beings. So there's a lot of them here. And I see that several of them have gold. They're shimmering in gold light, like sparkling glitter among their blue. Some are darker blue. Some are very short. Some are very tall. Some are very thin. They look almost like a tree. They're very tall and thin. And there's others that are very, very small, almost like a cherub. So I just called in what I called was my blue and our blue families. And I didn't want to distinguish between this group and that group because that doesn't help us being in more separation. What really helps is connecting to the blue energy. So that's how I'd like to approach it. So here we go. Okay, this is Adama who's leading the group, and he just stepped forward. Okay, here we go. To my beautiful family. I have tears in my eyes today as we are able to share with you how much closer we are to almost standing at your doorways. We have waited for this time on the planet for more than 12,000 years. We have held the space of the level of fifth dimensional love to assist each of you at this time on the planet to go through it in ease and grace, much more so than it could have been if we had gone on into the higher frequencies and left you to figure it out. As a family, you don't do that. You take the littlest one or the smallest one or the weakest one, and you absolutely make it just as important as the strongest or the tallest being. And that's how we live as Telosians and as blue beings from the blue ray. We live as a family, and each of you are wired in your hearts by each of us to recognize family. So I stand here today in front of you with pools of tears in my eyes, in such humble gratitude for each one of you precious hearts that chose to take up the banner and chose to make your heart more important than anything else, so that we could lead from the heart as a group and not our egos. And this has been a combined effort of every single blue person, ray, collective, individual, group, in every way, shape, and form. This has been a labor of love. And all of us blue beings, in any way, shape, or form, are rejoicing, a deeper rejoicing than we've ever rejoiced today, as we get to come together as a blue family, carrying blue light in every way, shape, and form. And in this awareness, we share some of the highest frequencies on the planet and beyond, in the full wake up of not only this universe, but omniversal and beyond. There are so many races, if you want to look at it that way, of blue beings all over creation in any way, shape, or form. There are pink beings, there are gold beings, there are other color beings that have just as much beauty and just as much soul as we do. But a lot of us congregated into this universe to come onto this planet at this time, so that this universe is love-based and does not carry unloving base energy anymore. This has been through so many lifetimes, thousands, that we have prepared for today, that we have prepared for this time on the planet. And for those of you, dear hearts, who are awakening to your Lemurian, Telosian, and Atlantean lives, and as Judy has felt, yes, I will share that. I remember being a medicine woman before Lemuria, before Atlantis, in an indigenous culture. And I remember going into a rock, the whole tribe around me, as I went into the rock and I became an eagle. And I flew miles upon miles in a circle all around where we were to check for, were there fires? Was there flooding? Was there other groups, other beings? And I remember the peace in my heart of flying, and just on the wings of love. It felt marvelous to fly. And then I checked everything I needed to check. I sent a hug to all that I had seen. I came back through the rock and I shared everything with the tribe that I had experienced. And I was so aware of this before Atlantis and before Lemuria. And so we are all really, really ancient, ancient souls that are so much more. And they're showing me like the top of a pin of what we know about ourselves compared to everything of who we are. So now Adama is stepping forth again. And he's thanking me for sharing. As Judy has requested, I've come forth today as one of many of leaders in what we call the Blue Family. And we will be escorting each of you into the different planets, into the different sun stars, into the different places of where you carry higher origin energy of Blue Family. And we will help each of you come home to that part of you as a gift to thank you for all that you've done up till now. We are immensely grateful beyond any words I could ever say. We have watched you go from baby time to adult time. And just like parents, we have loved you through every single pain you've had. And we have rejoiced and hugged and shared, and you went hooray with all of the things that you experienced that were loving and expanding and beautiful. And just like parents, of course, our main objective is to see you be everything that you can be through everything you've been through. And as I look at your beautiful blue hearts and your golden crowns, I rejoice in the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and the awareness that you each carry that's just on the tipping point of you going, wow, as you expand even more. And each one of us are handpicking a different one of you to help escort into this next experience of who you are. And we are very proud and very grateful to be given this honor. We are deeply, deeply grateful that we get to be in close contact with each of you. And only then can you feel our deep gratitude and our deep, immense joy in the boundless expansion of the beauty of you. We are a family of many colors. And we are highlighting the blue beings, the blue rays, the blue beings today, as we will herald in other colors of beings at different times, as your own interest suggests. We don't want to go beyond where you want to go. And we don't have a hidden agenda. So it is I, Adama, a master of the blue ray. With my open heart, I stand before you. And I'm putting my hand on each of your hearts. And I'm opening your hearts to the blue ray, to the blue being, to the blue essence of who you each are. And may you feel this flooding of joy and blue bubbles that are percolating through your whole body reminding every part of you to celebrate your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, your awareness, your gifts, your talents, abilities, skills, and tools. As Judy says, to celebrate every single part and particle of who you are. And in this moment, I just see a sea of blue energy and blue essence, and individuality is not needed. I see the exquisite energy of this blue that is permeating each of us at this time, and how we are coming together to do something that's way beyond what we thought possible in this life. And you keep showing us, as your galactic brothers and sisters, how much wiser you are, how much more aware you are, how much more gifted, and what perseverance that you have to keep putting your heart out there, and to keep putting your heart out there, and putting your heart out there, no matter what you've experienced. You can lick your wounds, but you need to open your arms and celebrate that these are wounds of love, as you've made all of worth, all of life, all of the worlds a priority for us to all expand and have more of an experience of each of us as individuals, as families, as groups, and as oneness. And in this moment, you are standing in the blue consciousness of oneness, whether it is the blue heart, the blue mind, the blue soul, or blue divinity. We celebrate the blue energy and all the ways in which it has enhanced all of creation. So I am now standing, and each one of us are coming from Telos to stand next to you and inner earth, and start from this point on guiding each of you on the expansion of your blue family and the understandings of who you are. And each of us bow in humble gratitude to who you are and to the amazing job that you've done. I am a Dhamma, and I am just your brother. Words can't describe what we all just experienced. Just through tears, I am deeply grateful for each and every one of you, because without you, we couldn't have had this experience with a Dhamma and all of our blue families.
Well, Judy, this is indicative of the profound message of love in that transmission. I've known you for many years, and this is the first time I recall you being moved so deeply.
Yes.
And I'm about ready to be moved there too. I'm going to hold it together. We can feel others who are feeling this as well. so incredibly beautiful. You know, this is it reminds we create this sacred space before we even gather. And Judy, when you came up with what you were to present today, I had a dream, and in that dream I was speaking the power of love to people. I'm not going to go into it, but as I spoke the power of love, the crowd around me started talking louder like they didn't care. And I got stronger and stronger in that message and more resolved to it. And that was in preparation for standing in our love with self love so deeply, so strongly that it is a 1,111% commitment. And
Yeah.
I think we're all of us listening are right there in the same place.
I see this enormous blue star with the gold center that represents Mintaka to me. And I see it in your heart, Loren. And I see it in my heart. And now they're showing me one big star that we all represent. And thank you for sharing that, because it's very interesting how many times things that would be difficult or not quite ready for, or only in a dream can it be presented to you, are things presented in dreams. And most of the time, they're either things that are too much for you to handle at the moment in your present life consciously, so you go through it in your dream state, or it's you living way beyond where you think would be possible, and it's presented to you in a dream. Mm-hmm. So they're telling me that you, Loren, are one of the Mintakan leaders. And that's why I'm seeing that star. That's what that symbol means, is it symbolizes Mintaka. And I'm seeing it in your heart. And I'm seeing you glowing so beautifully in gold light. And as I look around me, I just see all these billions of stars, blue stars with gold centers, meaning that we are that many beings. And isn't that amazing? So I would say that at this time, we open 100% through our hearts to any part of us that as a Mintakan, we are now ready to step into. And any part of us that carries the blue energy in any way, shape, or form, we step into. And it honors us and blesses us in the most benevolent way, or something even better. And so it is, beloved, we are.
So it is.
Oh.
Well, then you've done it now, Judy, once again.
Oh.
You have moved me to a level of awareness, and I know that others, everyone listening, has new levels of awareness. And as we started, I shared that I heard we are the Blu-ray Collective.
Yep.
Well, I thought it was my imagination.
It
Again,
isn't.
Judy, you have helped me piece together the puzzle of so many integers. And it is so beautiful. We'd love to hear from others. I know others feel this deep connection as well. I know some are awakening to it, and sometimes that awakening is rather rapid. And that's very interesting. But I think that the Blu-ray Collective, yes, the more I know about it, the more I feel into my heart. And Judy, when you say you get lost in when you're following your heart in divine
Yep.
flow, you don't pay attention to time.
Nope.
And I think that's beautiful. And I think it's everyone's mission here to assist people in doing that in our own lives and in the lives of the collective.
Yep.
And I've seen it, Judy, in the many classes that we've done here. You've helped me see things in such a beautiful, clear way. Thank you. Wow. All
You've
right.
provided the opportunity for that to be shared. Don't forget that, Lorraine.
Okay, beautiful. We've got questions. I'm going to pull some common threads and I'm going to share a couple. We can't get to all of them, but Judy, there is, okay, one, you're gonna tell us how we can work with the white time healing quartz crystal.
Yeah.
Many are asking, how do we work with that? So we're gonna get there. Others are asking for higher self messages. Is there an activation or something you can do? I think we already know within what our higher self is, but do you want to speak to higher self messages for our group or?
First of all, your higher self is just a part of you that's still in the frequency of creator. And you have several higher selves, not just one. So as we expand more and more into trusting in the integrity of our own soul and listening, we step more and more into our higher selves. So the easiest way for you to do that is to put your hand on your heart and listen to what your heart is telling you. And when whatever it's telling you is coming from love, your heart energy will expand. When whatever you're being given is coming from an unloving place, your heart is going to contract and you're going to get smaller. So your answer is to turn within to your heart. Your heart never lies to you. Your head and your ego lie to you all day long. And your head needs to merge your sacred head with your sacred heart into the sacred oneness. And then you come from your center. And that's what Buddha teaches. You come from your center, not one extreme or the other. So the answer is to truly listen and feel what your heart is giving you. And that's you connecting to your higher self. And then from there, you will just follow the good feelings and know that that's your guidance system. And when something doesn't feel good, back off.
Yes.
Find a way to have it feel good, pay somebody else to do it, barter with somebody else, or find a different way to do it, like me taking the trash cans out and calling in Hercules. So it's important that you work with your heart because that's where your truth is, and your heart never lies to you ever.
Beautiful. And I hear the song, "Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling."
Yeah.
You're having us sing and dance. Thank you, Judy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm right now seeing Fred Astaire, and I'm seeing the one with dark hair, Gene Kelly, and they're laughing. So yes, they got it.
Okay, Florida is the name of the group, and it's Good Feeling. And you guys go look that up and dance with us in the cosmos because it's fun. Okay, other people have been experiencing the dragon energy, and me, Natty, says, I'm wondering if the dragon ley lines I live on and the blue dragon tree on my land is connected to the blue beings. I would like to know if the blue dragon tree, if there is something the blue dragon tree would like me to do, us to do for the land and the portals of the land.
Okay, first of all, the beings are not just human. The blue beings are also animals and plants and trees and dragons and unicorns and on and on and on. So the blue energy is not exclusive to humans. It's any form of life that is carrying the blue energy, number one. Number two, what I'm hearing is your dragon tree wants more hugs. So that's what it's asking. It wants more hugs. You also have some blue lizards on your property that consider themselves the guardians of your property. And so you might want to consider connecting to the blue lizards because they are a smaller form of dragons. And they're showing me they have little wings. And they're really, really beautiful. And they carry white sparkles that look like little stars in their skin, along with being cobalt blue. So I hope that that gives you the answers you were looking for.
Thank you. And I want to say that the tree is being hugged by all of us. We're
Yes.
giving it a big heart hug, and we're actually amplifying what you go today to give that tree a hug. Me, if you could get there, that would be beautiful. We're all giving that hug. And we're also giving Judy a big old fat birthday hug.
Oh, thank you.
Judy had a birthday.
Yes, I did. I've been going around the sun for 75 times, and I've been doing the work that I do for over 72 times around the sun. Pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. It's a journey of love, and you live it so well and so purely. And we are so grateful that we just wish you another great, beautiful journey.
Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much.
All right. Well, In Yang, you said that you are a singer. And if you know that, can you sing us a riff? Can you do the, whoa, sometimes I get a good feeling. You know that song, right?
Oh God. Yeah, that's Etta James. If I'm gonna sing something, I would prefer to sing this unbelievable spiritual. It's 300 years old.
Oh,
Do you want me
beautiful.
to just sing a teeny little bit?
Oh,
Yes.
that would be lovely.
Okay. Oh my God, this is so great. Hold on just a second. Come here speaks the Comforter, tenderly saying, earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. And that has nothing to do with the Bible. That's just sourced.
Thank you for blessing us from your heart. I could feel every single word.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy. And Lauren.
Yes, so beautiful. You are a Blu-ray. Yes, Blu-rays have the voice, and everyone here has a beautiful voice. You all know it. Okay, Judy, let's see. That's the end of our questions.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and activate the white, hold on, time healing quartz crystal. And I'm just going to do it in the moment as I usually do things and know that I'm being guided beautifully. And I'm hearing that this is so beautiful. I'm seeing the whole room full of crystals. All crystal beings, because it's a crystal family. They're saying we're crystal family. Here we go. I've been keeping this crystal in my bra next to my heart. I did it for a half an hour this morning. I had it under my pillow for the last 2 days. And I also held it in my heart the whole time we've been on this call. So my heart is very, very clear about this. So here we go. I just want everybody to put your hand on your heart and just with reverence and sincerity, say to your heart, I am home. I am one heart, one mind, one soul, and one body. I am source. And I am choosing now to activate on a whole new level my crystal self. And here we go. In this moment, this beautiful crystal is an energetic portal that allows the higher aspects of time to consciously connect with extended parts of the self that exist simultaneously in other dimensions. These crystals allow one to be released from the illusion of temporal time. With these crystals, you can tune in to all aspects of yourself, from the past stretching into several dimensional futures. You can actively transmit healing energy to your past, releasing any emotional or karmic trauma or baggage, releasing the ongoing need to drag it back into the now where it does not belong. This white time healer invites you to access your many dimensional selves for future and past healing. The crystals work on multidimensional levels, helping you retrace your steps upon the time-space trail. With the new vibrational, unfiltered, other planetary light that is being birthed, we are finally able to integrate fragmented aspects of our vast, very vast beingness. With these crystals, we will learn to relate to time in a new way, which allows us to link to all aspects of the now selves through other incarnations, thus releasing the need for time slippage, which is going back over and over again and continued learning the hard, slow, cooked ways. So in this moment, I'm calling in the crystal skull Max of my heart, and I'm asking Max to enter each of your hearts and to help guide this beautiful crystal perfectly for each of you as individuals. So I want you to take a moment, and I'm putting this crystal, which looks like the top of a big pencil, and it's got really, really beautiful, beautiful energy. And I'm putting it in the center of my palm of my left hand. And I'm just now sending, with Max's assistance, to each of you, those of you on the call and those of you on the replay and beyond, the opportunity to receive this beautiful crystal into the left side of your body, which is your feminine side, and to activate your beautiful crystalline feminine self fully and completely in the ways that would honor you most. And now, as you receive this crystal, I want you to feel its energy in the left palm, whether it makes your hand tingle, whether you feel numb, whether you feel spurts of energy, whether you feel a warmth, whether you just feel every part in your hand is energetic. It doesn't matter. You're now holding this crystal in your left hand. And now I want you to see this crystal going from being in your hand, up your arm, up your shoulder, and directly into your sacred heart. And the connecting point is a little hollow space at the base of your throat. So right now that crystal is standing in a much more miniature size. It looks like the size of an eraser on the end of a pencil. And it's right now in each of your sacred hearts. So take a moment and breathe it in. And feel the love of your heart on this crystal, because love is what activates it. And speak softly to this crystal from this point on. And this crystal will become your ally upon the time walk. Treat it with the softness that you would treat an infant. And know that right now, as a collective, we have collapsed time down to 6 hours a day out of 24. And my guides just told me 2 weeks ago, we're going down to 4 hours a day. And what that means is we're only in third or in the lower frequencies 4 hours a day. The rest of the time, 18 to 20 hours, we are in loving ourselves more than 51% of our day. That is huge. That is huge. So now, I want you to think of a habit that you have that you would like to release. And I want you to feel you breathing in the crystal that is in the hollow space at the base of your throat, and feel it breathing you. And know that it's a part of you, that it's been transferred from out here to in here. And it's now connected to your sacred heart, and it's home. So breathe it, and breathe it in, feeling every part of you is opening to your crystalline self, your pure crystalline self of nothing but beauty. And as you breathe out, you're literally giving absolute beautiful crystal light in every way, shape, and form, touching every heart in all of creation. So breathe in, activate it within you, breathe out, and share it. Now I want you to think of whatever this habit is. And with your pure heart, I want you to tell your higher self that up until now, you've gotten everything out of that habit that you needed. And that you've taken it in, you've utilized it, you've gotten everything out of it, and now you don't need it anymore. So I want you to see that beautiful crystal absorbing that habit and going to just a few minutes before you took on that habit. And see and feel the crystal opening its heart. And so as it's absorbing the habit, you are being freed of it. And as it's absorbing the habit, you are getting clear and clear and clear, like a clear crystal. And now the habit goes into the light, and it is released into its next expression of love, because it's just energy. And as you are having this beautiful crystal absorb that habit, it is now being released. And then with your pure heart, let it take you to a safe place and time of healing, and trust the input and images that are coming to the surface to be healed, not just in this moment, but for a few days. And just take it in. This is your intention. You chose to have had this experience and now release this experience all through love with the assistance of the white time healing quartz crystal that's been personalized for you. And so in this moment, feel that habit draining from your body, your mind, and your heart. And we're choosing to go all the way back ancestrally into your ancestral lineage, before and after you, so that you're completely cleaned and cleared of that particular habit in the way that most honors you. And now we ask for Crystal Skull Max to come in and to bless us so that we each are activating our own crystal skull selves. And we are in the highest light of who we are and all of creation as source. And so as this beautiful white time healing quartz crystal is being cleared and then blessed and infused with that highest light of our soul, we are also look like the sun as we are radiating gold rays of light of pure love with every part of us. And so is the crystal. And now we choose to be blessed by what that habit was presenting to us, however it was to assist us. And we know that we've received the gift. And now we choose to absorb that gift without the habit needed anymore. And now we choose new ways to bless us and to infuse us. And we release the habit into the light. And know that this white time healing quartz crystal is also releasing it into the light as well. And now we choose to go beyond this moment and let this beautiful crystal skull max and this beautiful white time healing crystal to guide our path from this point on, so that anything meaningful we are receiving, and anything that we've already outgrown, the white time healing quartz crystal is removing and sending into the light. And as we look at ourselves as a beautiful quartz crystal being, as a full crystalline being, we are crystal clear. We're not holding on to anything that was the old us. The habit is gone in whatever way honors us, and the wisdom of it is still serving us with every breath. So in this moment, we are free and clear. And we choose to allow our crystalline self to guide us from this point on. And so it is. Beloved, we are. All is in alignment with our sacred heart, our I am presence. We are choosing the most benevolent outcome or some. And so it is, beloved. We are. Yippee!
And so it is. Oh, beautiful.
That was wonderful. Oh,
Yes. So
thank you.
beautiful, Judy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone, thank you too for receiving this. We feel complete and so full, at peace, in the oneness, in the one heart, in love, self love as well. I want to thank you, Judy, for being here. And I want to thank everyone as well. We love you.
And thank you for giving us the forum that we could do this, Lorraine. Thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. And again, we send you a big happy birthday heart
Thank
hug.
you. I accept it. I dance in joy, and my heart is full of giggles as I'm feeling all of the effervescent bubbles of joy. Thank you.
Yay! Okay, and we're gonna go hug that blue dragon tree as well. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you, everyone.
Till the next
Namaste.
time, I love you. Bye bye.
Wow.
Yippee!
Oh my goodness. Wow. Woo! Judy is in the house. Oh, so many beautiful comments from that replay of this transmission today. I want to thank everyone for joining in this beautiful space and again, receiving this. And you know, even though this was in October of 2023, we're still seeing the wisdom, timeless wisdom in her words and her vibration. And oh boy, after last week, the energy last week, and what our world is going through in this shift, what a perfect time. What a perfect time to receive this. It fully puts us back in our power. And we are on mission. I am so grateful for you being here today. And I'm going to drop the link in well, the link is in the chat line. Also, um, check an email. We're going to send an email with that replay link, and you'll be able to share that with other people that you feel may need to hear this at this time. So go ahead and share that as well. And before we complete our time together, I hold you in such deep reverence and love at this time on the planet. It's really important for us to be in our hearts like this in all ways, even though sometimes we may get knocked off kilter by what's happening in the collective. But let's not let that happen. Remember, 51% of our day living in the heart is absolutely miraculous, and great change comes from that. So I want to share one thing before we say goodbye. Many of you have asked how to continue walking with Judy's teachings. They help us stay connected to our heart light. They help us hear her laughter and her very unique way of opening the heart and the higher realms. I've been working with Judy for 10 years. And every time she moves me to my knees in tears, and every event we've done together has been so heart opening and transformational that we want to make this available. So, you know, in the 10 years that Judy and I worked together, there were 23 programs. Several of them were three-part sessions that were so beautiful. In one of those, I was given a dream where I saw the single most important message for humanity. The single most important message for humanity. It came as a vision after a whole night of being in the dream space. And it's like, wow, all we need to do is radiate our heart light to our whole house, to our whole neighborhood, to the world. And that crushes the ascension reincarnation cycle. It ends our reincarnation cycle. So share your heart light. If you would like the library of Judy's ascension teachings, I have a very special link for you. And this is at a really very special offering. It's for your heart. It resonates with your heart and it feels right. You're welcome to step through this and get this beautiful offering. Judy's presence lives through these teachings and through each one of us who carry those teachings and her light forward. She was remarkable, and I just miss her, but I think of her all the time. Literally last year, she told me to change my furniture, move my furniture. Not only did that change my life, but it accelerated rapid change in my life. And I still continue today to move my furniture. And I hope that you continue to tune in to Judy, tune into her light, tune into her wisdom. And again, I'm dropping the link to Judy's Ascension Library. I call it an Ascension Library because she has ascended and she is working with us in so many ways. So thank you all for being here once again. I am so uplifted and I hope you are too. So beautiful to see all these wonderful comments. Yes, yes, yes. Adama, Adama of Telos is a Blu-ray. And also one of my guides, El Moira, he was always a silent guide. And then finally, when I was tuning in more to his energy, I found that he was very, very comforting for me. And then I learned that he is the Chohan of the Blue Ray. So all these pieces come together after, in hindsight. It seems like hindsight is 2020. And so more will be revealed on our journey. And I honor your journey and your walk. And I thank you for your light. Remember, shine your light. Be there for your neighbors. Be there for your planet. Ooh, I'm hearing Judy's last words, and she's thanking you. And as we close today's session, I say, from my sacred heart to yours, namaste. Goodbye, beloved hearts. Welcome to 2026. May this be your year to shine that heart light more than ever. Thank you. Namaste. Bye-bye.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.